Coming up on today's show.
In a North London derby, to put that performance on, I just think it was shambolic. A pathetic performance.
Tottenham is a very well-run business, but is it a well-run football club? Can Tottenham go down?
I still have Man City, if they win at home against Arsenal, win a league.
I think Arsenal will do it. I think it'd be tighter than I thought. I thought they'd run away with it.
We talk about shoe-ins. He would be my starting left-back. It'd be him and Nico O'Reilly for sure.
For fuck's sake, Ekatike. Hugo, come on.
Just edit, please. End the thing.
Edit. Hello and welcome to the Rest is Football with Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker. Alan Shearer is at another friend's birthday party, which he seems to have almost every other Sunday. You'll hear him in the second half because we've already recorded that when we discuss Saturday's games, or most of Saturday's games. We left Man City side of things because obviously that is all-encompassing with the title race, etc. So, Mike, how are you?
I'm good. You know what? I think you need to put your foot down, though, guys. You need to put your foot down.
Do you think?
Alan is getting away with all sorts. Is he part of the team? I've not took one day off for socialising. I might have been ill or I might have been working. That's different.
Or in Abu Dhabi.
Well, yeah, I was working in Abu Dhabi.
At the Grand Prix. Well, you did actually make an appearance. I mean, I don't know. Alan's quite scary, isn't he? I don't know physically whether I'd be man enough to stand up to him and give him a bollocking. Let's see in the second half. But we've already done the second half, so it's too late for me to give him a bollocking. Oh, dear. Micah, you were doing Match of the Day yesterday. You were with Wayne Rooney.
Yes, I was with Wayne. And
I mean, thank heavens you got a decent game at the end, because apart from that, it was like 1-1. Not much going on, really, was there?
It was very difficult. You're picking out certain things and always going to be about low blocks and defensive and strikers not being able to put the ball in the back of the net. But then we got some goals and it was all right.
Can I bring up something here? Because I saw this thing on social media where, with you and Wayne Rooney, where Strauch obviously scored the goal, and then
it wasn't. Sorry, it was. So this is where it's thinking. Stack scored the goal.
Stack scored the goal.
But Strauch is who we was talking about on his analysis.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Of course, yes, you're absolutely
yes.
All right. So I just saw the clip, but it wasn't. It was clearly you were cracking up about something, but you need to tell me why, because it wasn't really explained, but I mean, it still made me chuckle, and Chappers was chuckling away as well. Okay,
for context, you've been at B, 25 years, you know how it goes. So you know we always have a camera on the pundit when they're doing their analysis.
They do now. Now, that's fairly modern, that. They didn't used to, but they do now.
It goes to what the pundit is talking about, or it might go to the presenter, or it might have all of us, depending on what shot it is. So you couldn't see me at the time. So on the show, you could sort of hear me maybe giggling a little bit, but I wanted to be as professional as I could be. So all day, he's doing the Villa Leeds game. Wayne Rooney, he's doing a Villa Leeds game. Yeah. And he's doing his analysis, he's putting it all together. We go around back to do and put all the things on, and all the Piero, we called it. And when he was doing the rehearsal before, he kept going, how do we say this guy's name?
Yeah.
Strauch. So then we're doing rehearsal on the floor, and he's asked again, how do you pronounce this guy's name? Strauch.
Yeah.
And I said to him, just leave it alone, because what you're going to do, you're going to be so fixated on his name, you're going to get it wrong. And he goes, I'll be fine. Trust me. I've got it. Strauch. He said it about 3 times. So he's doing the analysis, right?
Yeah.
And it comes to the bit, and he was talking about Strauch was jumping, so he was going to apply pressure to, I think he was talking about someone for Villa in a hole. It might have been Buendia. And as he come to it, he goes, and when Stoke jumps out there.
Stoke. And that's when you went.
I've gone because I've told him. I've said I've been in that position before. Just don't do it. Just say the defender jumps. He's highlighted. His name's on the analysis. So don't even try. And he went for it. And honestly, I'd gone. I had to stop myself because I was crying because
Brilliant.
he was giving it the big one like he was going to nail it. He did this amazing analysis and he got his name wrong. So that's what it was all about.
He's the new Martin Keown. For those of you wondering what I'm on about, Martin has almost a panic attack about getting the correct terminology for someone's name, or the correct pronunciation, I should say. And he'd ask everyone about 50 times, so how do you say his name? How do you say his name? How do you say his name? I mean, he's so slightly different. He's not in the sense that, well, Wayne Rooney suddenly thought, no, got it covered. Like Martin would still be doing it, wouldn't he? Just a few seconds before you got on air, and then even over the thing. And he was always so nervous about getting someone's name wrong. And talking about getting people's names wrong, I mean, I heard you on a couple of mentions today. People keep calling you Mika.
I don't know why.
I saw James Milner. Actually, credit to you here, Mike. I don't know whether I sent it in the group chat. He did a little thing, one of those things they do now for social media where they go, the best player, the quickest you played against, the best finisher. The best finisher, unfortunately, named Alan, that he played with. But he said the strongest was, it would have been really good if he'd have said Micah Richards, but he did say Mika.
Oh, come on, Millie. He called me Mika.
Mealy, you should call him.
Mealy. I don't understand why people can't. You know what?
I understand why it is, Micah. I'll tell you why it is. It's because you call big Meeks, and that confuses people. So it's like, and I've done it myself on occasions and have managed to wrestle it back at the last second, because we call you Meeks or big Meeks. And so then you would think it's because it's Mika, but it's not. It's Micah.
But it's been going on a while. I blame Frankie Bunn, my academy coach, Alex Gibson, and Paul Power. All those three. They started it. And then, you remember all them years ago when I scored that header?
They started Big Meeks or they started Mika?
They started Mika. My name is Micah. It's simple. It's like Michael, but shorter. Micah. That's it. Yeah. Simple.
Yeah, it is simple. But because you call big Meeks, that's where the confusion comes in, I think.
Yeah, but my nickname is Mikes, not Meeks. Everyone just calls me big. Yes.
I've never heard anyone call you Mikes.
That's what I mean, because you're not one of my close friends.
Oh, fuck, really? Well, I'm your boss. You can't be that close to your boss, can you? It's all a little bit confusing, which takes us into, Fuse. This episode is brought to you by Fuse Energy. No one likes a panic buy on deadline day. The smart teams do their business early, not relying on dodgy fax machines. Are they still a thing? Rushed medicals or watching a plan B target become a plan C.
The best deals are the calm ones, when you've still got options on the table.
Switching to Fuse Energy is one of those great deals. On average, customers save around £200 on their energy bills, and it only takes 3 minutes to switch. You get 24/7 customer support. You see exactly what you're using day by day, all in one app, and play a part in Fuse's mission to deliver energy that keeps getting cheaper for everyone.
And it doesn't stop there. Switch to Fuse Energy and you could have your question answered on the show.
Sign up to Fuse Energy at fuseenergy.com/football. Use the referral code FOOTBALL. And you could also win a 1990 England shirt signed by the three of us at The Rest is Football. Right, let's talk about the first bite delivered by Uber Eats. And, it has to be the North London derby. And as a former Spurs man, Micah Meeks, or Meek, or whatever your name is. Mike's. Yikes. As a Spurs fan, I'm a little bit worried. It was a brilliant bounce back from Arsenal. It's exactly what they had to do. But I look at Tottenham at the moment and I see a team that's obviously massive amount of injuries and devoid of any confidence. You would think, North London derby, yes, they had a bit of a go early on, but God, blimey. I mean, when you consider where they were not long ago, when they had Kulusevski, Son and Maddison and lots of really good players. Now, I know there's nothing you can do about Kulusevski and Maddison's injuries, big injuries, but they just look bereft of anything at the moment. I worry, Micah.
And I don't blame you. The sheer lack of quality on show from Spurs. You know, if you was a Spurs fan, it was just hope. You know, when they got the goal back from Kolomwani, they didn't have any combinations.
No.
The formation, I understand why they went with it, with the 5 at the back, the 3 and then the 2, Xabi Simons, sort of Kolomwani. But I've always sort of defended Spurs in terms of what they haven't got on the field, the injuries and whatever it may be. But that effort in a North London derby, you can say they give a little bit, but they were so casual on the ball.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's down to effort or whether it's, I just think it's a lack of confidence and belief
decision
and even ability.
When you're struggling, Gaz, and I've been there, you not so much because you're always a top player, but when
I know, Mike, I was relegated.
Yes, but I mean, it wasn't your fault. When I was playing really bad,
obviously not.
When I was playing really bad at Villa, I would still give 100%. Yeah. And Spurs have got better players than they're showing now. And when they won the Europa League last year, it was a horrible game, but you get over the line. In a North London derby, to put that performance on, I just think it was shambolic. The decision-making, when to dribble, in the areas where there was dribbling out from the back, the passes, everything on show was just poor. I thought it was a pathetic performance. Yeah. And I never say that about Spurs, but because of the occasion, you think, can they rise to it? And they just didn't at all.
No, I was desperately disappointed. I know they've got a lot of players out injured, and that is an absolutely legitimate excuse. I don't think it's about effort. I think it's about quality for a start. They haven't got the depth in the squad that they've needed with the injuries. And I think when things go against you a little bit in games like that, I don't think it's that they didn't want to win or they're not trying, or I just think sometimes when you've got no confidence and it kind of sucks the energy out of you. And you saw that. I mean, look at Manchester United. They're a totally different proposition now to what everyone was saying beforehand. Oh, they weren't really trying. They don't care. The players don't care. Players care. But I just think it just saps your strength, saps your ability, saps your confidence. And then you start performing nervously. And I think it's a lack of confidence that it is. I don't think it's an effort thing. I mean, crikey, you've got a new manager. You would think to yourself, every player will want to impress. But, Arsenal, they did what they had to do. They came, bounced back after a disappointment of conceding 2 goals against Wolves late on. And I thought they did well. And I suppose if the referee hadn't given the foul for a slight push in the back of Gabriel, who made obviously the most of it and went down very easily. If the referee hadn't have whistled, I don't think VAR would have turned that over. It was one of those, and then it would have been 2-2, and who knows. But overall, they were really found wanting.
Yeah, but I don't take people's point that the players are not good enough. I take your point in terms of the lack of confidence. Yeah. But if you go through their side, Palhinha was just at Bayern Munich not so long ago.
Not
and he was
playing
the best,
much there, though.
Best player for Fulham when he was in the Premier League. Van der Ven, at one point, it was talking about him and Romero as the best partnership.
They miss Romero today. There's no question about it. He's a proper player.
Spence, we was talking about him 6 months ago, about him perhaps starting for
Confidence.
England. Archie Gray, when he was at Leeds, everyone was talking about him, all the Gray family.
What position did he play today?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's playing out of position.
I mean, play players out of position, it doesn't generally work.
But he's still a good player, out of position.
He is, of course he is. And he's a young boy.
Gallagher, who's just at Atletico Madrid, yes, he would like to play a bit more, but he played in a structure that was disciplined, that suited him. Yeah. Kolomwani, PSG, he was just
he scored.
PSG.
He did get his goal.
He got his goal, and then Xabi Simons, who they've just paid a lot of money. So I can't take that they've not got quality in there. I think, yes.
They've not got top four quality. That's what I would say.
Yeah, agreed.
They've definitely got more quality than the position in the league where they should, where they should be at least, mid-table. And I think, you can keep going through, everyone's saying it's Thomas Frank's fault. Well, they look, is it? I don't know. Tottenham is a very well-run business, but is it a well-run football club? And ultimately, generally, the league positions are comparative with the spending that you make on the players that you make, etc. And Tottenham's overall expenditure is roughly that of a mid-table Premier League club. So they're underperforming because they should be at least in the mid-table. And at the moment, they're in danger, Mike. Do you think, we'll come to Arsenal, and apologies to Arsenal fans because it was your day. Can Tottenham go down? They're 4 points, aren't they, above West Ham, are in 18th. Forest just behind them. It's not inconceivable.
No, it's not. But I think they'll just have enough. I feel
so.
Watching Forest really good. I thought they was unlucky. Watching West Ham, they're playing well, a lot better. The confidence is nice. But I just feel as though Spurs can get over the line just because of the players that I mentioned.
Yeah, and if they get Romero back, maybe they'll get one or two players back before the end of the season. And I've had terrible luck the last 2 years with injuries. But I'm just, as a former Tottenham man, just really concerned. But right, let's go on to probably the more significant aspect of this game. It was a huge bounce back from Arsenal, just what they needed.
Yeah, I thought they were excellent. I thought that there's a big conversation about Eze, and after he's got his hat trick in the first time they played, when was it? It was 18 games ago, and he scored that hat trick, and a lot of Arsenal fans expected him to then go on and make that position his own. That didn't happen for him. It was brave of Arteta to start him today, because I thought Odegaard was going to start, and then to repay the team with 2 goals and a good performance. I thought that was brave from the manager. I thought Gyökeres was outstanding. Very good, very good. And we've been slightly critical at times of Gyökeres, but I think to perform like that, and both goals were excellent finishes, particularly the first one, the touch. And then the finish, he executed it beautifully. Well done. But just his work rate and his movement as well, it looked like he was in control of what he wanted to do. Yes, he's up for it because it was a derby, but in terms of his all-round performance, not just because he scored, his link-up play, his running, he's coolly taking his finishing. And Arsenal was just by far the better team in all areas. They had that little bit of a slip. Declan Rice trying to dribble out and Colin Mwani put it in the back of the net. It was quite the irony. At one point we were saying if it goes a bit pear-shaped for Arsenal here, it might be like a Steven Gerrard moment. When he because as soon as the goal goes in, he obviously gathered the group together and he's giving it mentality and all this. And it was like a very open to the public view of the fact that it was obviously with the thought of the game against Wolves in his mind, we can't let this happen. And then he, of all people, who so rarely makes any mistakes, and you thought to yourself, oh boy, surely not that kind of moment. Why is he trying to dribble out there, though? He doesn't need to. Normally he makes all the right decisions. Yeah. Well, it's so rare. You see players do things. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but it's so rare for him that you go, wow. Yeah, it was like Raya. Yeah. It was like Raya, wasn't it, the other day in the Wolves game? And then you go, oh, wow, Raya's made a mistake. It's so rare. But it was just the way he made the mistake in terms of trying to dribble there. Of course. That's all it was. But I thought, all in all, Arsenal did. When I talked about Man City having that statement win against Liverpool, coming back, this was one of those that could have been a banana skin. Very much so. To come through that game, that then gives them the confidence they need. I still make the point that it's going to go to the Etihad when they play each other in the league. That's going to be the game,
Well,
I think.
I mean, we've got a tight race on our hands, which brings us obviously to City, and they had a tough game against Newcastle. They're not where they were 2 years ago. We know that, but they are improving. They are getting better. I think you're right. I think we're going to get a really exciting title race now because I see both teams. It's going to ebb and flow and a little bit of, you drop a couple of points here and it's going to be, it's what we want, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I would say as a neutral, which I'm a neutral, I don't know what you are because obviously you love
I think
both
I need
teams.
to, you know what? I actually think I really need to address this because...
No, I don't think you do.
No, but
it doesn't matter, does it?
I actually think I do though because... City fans, I was on CBS.
Are they still having a go at you?
No, I was on CBS the other day, and Arsenal. We had on the phone, we had a score or whatnot.
Yeah.
I had Gabriel captain. You know what fantasy football's like.
I had him triple captain.
Yes.
When they conceded,
And when they conceded, you're devastated. They've clipped that up. Carragher's going, why you sad for? They didn't show the whole context of the video and me saying, and I'm getting absolute pelters from Man City. What started as a joke?
Oh, I love football.
As a boyhood, I liked Arsenal when I was a kid. When I went to Manchester City, I've been Man City through and through ever since. But it's crazy to think that Man City, this thing, when I said, I like Arsenal and whatnot. And I think the term I use, I support Man City on air, Arsenal off air, which was on League of Their Own, on a format where we're having fun. And people are actually taking that as gospel. Like, I don't bleed Man City. It's madness to me if City going for all competitions. I want Man City to win. The whole Arsenal thing. Yes, I liked them as a kid, but it's the joke's gone too far now.
Some people, they're so tribal though.
I don't understand.
I mean, I wish tribality was only about football. I genuinely do. And I mean, that would be, but you can understand why people get in their camps and in all sorts of things in the world that more important things than football, although, is there anything more important than football?
Football's life, isn't it?
Yeah. As Bill Shankly once said. Yeah, but I wouldn't worry too much, Mike. I think most City fans know that, you do want City to do really, really well. You want them to win everything.
Anyway, the game.
Yeah. Nico
O'Reilly, who was special, wasn't he?
He's a talent. Where is he with England, Micah? Is he, I mean, to have the confidence of Pep Guardiola, not only to bring him in when they've got one or two injuries and he's had to play at fullback, but to trust a young man to play at fullback, which is not his position. And now he trusts him to play, I think he's sort of playing a diamond at the moment, do you think?
Yeah, they play diamond or a
flexible.
A box midfield, yes.
It's very flexible, isn't it? It moves around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to play him in there, and he's so young and he's so technically gifted, he's calm, he's measured, he makes good runs, he can finish. I mean, 2 cracking goals. I mean, blimey.
He's a player. But
I mean, he's going to be in the England squad, isn't he?
I just want to be careful with him because he's only 20. And you remember when Rico Lewis came in and he was a right back playing midfield and all the same accolades. It doesn't
necessarily help you sometimes when you constantly played out of position.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
you become
the pressure
a utility
that
player.
comes with it. Yeah. And the Foden and all the young players who are coming through, it's brilliant. But it's his energy, what I like, and his running power. So when you ask about England squad, definitely, because you need a variety of different positions. If you can trust him at
that's what he gives you, isn't it?
Correct.
He can play any of the midfield roles, probably.
Mm-hmm.
He can play definitely at fullback. We've seen him do that and really well as well. So in terms of the squad, he's what you need.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I can actually play an extra forward in the squad because I've got a player that covers me at fullback and covers me in midfield.
Exactly that. And it was interesting because I was watching Lewis Hall as well.
He's good, you know.
Oh, my.
He was great in the game again.
He's
what a player.
He's his decision-making when he's defending and all that. There was a moment in the game and I was watching and I think someone came deep, it might have been Haaland or Mamouche. And you know, sometimes when defenders commit, he half committed to showing one way, so he then could change his body to then show him one way if he got beat. And I was like, that is defending right there.
Yeah.
He gets it. And he's
not only brilliant at defending, he's great going the other way.
Oh, I love him. I love him. If we talk about shoe-ins, he would be my starting left back. It'd be him and Nico O'Reilly for sure.
Who can cover both positions.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, Lewis Hall's a midfielder by trade as well. You know that, right?
When he was at Chelsea and stuff. Yeah. I mean, it just shows you anyone can play fullback, Mike. But I mean, I'm very excited about the title race. Also, the fact I think if you look at City, no, they're not quite what they were a couple of years ago. But all of a sudden, you've got Aït-Nouri, who's fit again. I think he's looking good. You've got Rodri, who's starting to look like, dare I say, Rodri. And it's been when you've been out that long, I don't care who you are, and you've come back and then you've got a muscle injury and then it's very, very difficult. But poco a poco, as they say in Spain, little by little, he's getting back to the player that he was. Then they've signed Semenyo, is always a threat. And Mark Gay has been... did you see his interview post-match? Mark Gay, where he was saying, I've had to learn everything. It's like a rebrand almost. and he's clearly loving it.
I didn't actually hear that because we only was it on BBC socials. Interview or was it a Sky interview? Oh, it would have been TNT, wasn't it? It would have been a TNT maybe.
Yeah, and he spoke well. He was going, I've come in and I've had to learn everything and I've had to learn it really quickly and it's totally different. He said, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, he's a class act, he is. Yeah. He really is. He's that signing in January, that could get them over the line. Him and Semenyo. Although I thought Semenyo was quiet in the game from his standards. I thought Mamouche was really good. Yeah. Just his intelligent runs. Him and Haaland playing off each other. Yeah. Wayne Rooney did a really good piece on Haaland. And I wasn't critical, but I said Haaland at times was becoming a little bit predictable with his runs. Now he's completely changing. And I think that's down to Mamouche running and opening up space. But it's also
interesting that I don't know whether it's the first time in his career, but I doubt it's happened very often. But they're sort of playing two up top, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they both separate. So that would be a different role for Haaland. He would have pretty much been accustomed to two wide players or fairly wide players, the forwards as we call them, wide right, and then him down the middle. But then suddenly that's changed. Now Pep's playing obviously the box or whatever you want to call it in midfield, and he's relying for the fullbacks for his width and getting high. But it is different when it takes me back to my days. Most of my career I played 4-4-2 until probably the latter stage of my career when it would be 4-4-1-1. You play a float, like whether it was Beardsley with England or, different players at Tottenham over different times. But generally nowadays they used to play in that role, and you can see him having to do a little bit more work defensively, possibly because of this. I mean, crikey, did he get any defensive points, Harry? Did he get any defensive points? Because he deserved them. I mean, he cleared about 3 or 4 things at the back, and I had him captain. I mean, he obviously got an assist. So, did you have him captain?
Yeah, I had him captain.
Yeah, I was hoping for a goal, to be honest.
Yeah, I was hoping for a goal as well.
Particularly as it against Newcastle, we'll give Alan some stick. But I thought, we've already spoken earlier about the second half with Alan. I thought Newcastle were pretty good. Made it very tough for City.
I thought Big Dan Burn was brilliant.
Wasn't he brilliant? He played Haaland brilliantly.
That battle was class. Yeah. Back and forth. I like Joao as well.
Joao's good, isn't he?
I like Eddie Howe. He just set up and said, okay, let's go toe-to-toe. Whoever wins it. Gordon's is something else, His runs, it just needs the last bit. It's mad how he can do it in the Champions League. And in the Premier League, it's not as clinical. Maybe that's down
It's
to
one of those strange phenomenons. It'll change at some point. He'll start scoring loads in the Premier League and he won't be able to score in Europe. You know what it's like.
But his runs, and he's good. He's very, very quick.
He's bloody quick, isn't he?
Really, really
That's what I mean. They had to get Kusanov on, really, didn't they, to cope with it? I mean, he is rapid, by the way.
Really good.
Oof. Dan Burn, does he play for England?
I think he gets in the squad.
He's definitely in the squad.
I don't think he starts.
Yeah.
I think it would be Gay and Konza for me.
I think the same.
But I think he gets, and he could play left back and centre half as well.
I'm not sure about left back.
Well, he played there a lot for.
I know, but I think in left back he can get found out 1-on-1. Someone's running at him. That doesn't really happen in the centre because by and large you're facing the play and it's balls in. You can see your striker where he is. You can. I mean, you know, if you're intelligent, you can drop off against someone that's really quick. Whereas if you're as a fullback, I thought he got found out in terms of his pace on too many occasions. I wouldn't put him in as a fullback.
But that's in the Premier League. We know international football's a lot slower, don't we? Just as an option.
Well, until you play the very best. Until you play the very best.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So who's going to win the league, Micah? We're going to do this every single week.
Well, what did I say? When you and Alan went for Arsenal, didn't you?
We all went for Liverpool at the start, but we'll talk about them in a second. But
I'm going to say
I think Arsenal still win it.
If Man City could beat Leeds, which is going to be tough, I know Arsenal won there 4-0, didn't they? Then the game is at the Etihad. Don't forget they've got the League Cup final though as well. So when you say who's going to win, I think a lot could be taken from that game.
If City win, do you think that'll have a psychological effect on everything?
Yeah, but it could have on City as well. If Arsenal win as well, thinking maybe we're just a little bit short, not in terms of experience, in terms of actually Arsenal think, well, we could beat them then. Why not? It might just give them the impetus that they need. But in terms of experience and in terms of Man City taking the game to people, I still have Man City, if they win at home against Arsenal, winning the league.
You can't go throw ifs. I could say, bro, I think Arsenal win it if they win every other game.
Okay, well, I said Man City. I said Man City.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I
think Arsenal do it. I think it could be really. I think it'd be tighter than I thought. I thought they'd run away with it, but City's improvements over the last few weeks. But I still see a little bit of vulnerability there. Certainly on the counter. The high line. He's playing a braver high line than he has for quite some time.
I think that's the involvement of Pep Linders. I remember there's one of the goals that.
But it might help them as well. I
don't know. I think you can drop back 5 yards and you can still do what you need to do.
Yeah. Well, I think the key is you drop back 5 yards when there's no pressure on the ball.
Correct.
Anyway, the title race is very much alive. That was the first bite delivered by Uber Eats. As for the second bite, well, it was a late bite from Liverpool, wasn't it? I mean, it was amazing, actually, because McAllister had the goal disallowed where it's battered against his elbow, and we know the law. Whatever you think about the law, it was disallowed. And then it was a kind of very similar action, wasn't it, that led to his winning goal.
It was weird. Ekatike's got a score that, though, hasn't he?
Have you got Ekatike in your team?
Yes.
That's why I had him as well, Rico. For fuck's sake, Ekatike. Hugo. Come on.
Score goal.
What is it with these glancing headers at the moment?
It's annoying me.
Push it back where it came from.
Just edit, please. Edit the thing.
Edit. Have it.
I was flicking through games as well. Because
I was just watching the Forest Liverpool game.
Oh, did you? So you can talk about it a little bit more than me, but I was flicking through games because I had Munoz at Palace, and then they had a penalty, didn't they, that the Henderson saved. So I flicked onto Liverpool. I thought, okay, we'll be fine here. And then I seen it was 0-0, and all the commentary was saying that Forest was really good in the first half and Liverpool was probably lucky to win the game. Is that fair?
I would say Forest had the better of it. I thought Liverpool were really poor for much of the game. They picked up towards the latter stages and got it going a little bit, but they got the result and they need it. I mean, it's pretty tight up there, isn't it, for the Champions League spots?
So who's your top five? Who's your top? Go on then. Who's your top five? Obviously, you got Arsenal, Man City, and Villa are going to be your top three. Who's the other two?
Well, I would say Villa probably. I mean, as long as they don't. I mean, they've got a lot of fixtures, and but they have got a decent enough squad, and I think the addition of Tammy Abrahams will help them. So. Yeah, I would say Villa will be in the top five. I think it's probably two from three. So you've obviously got. Let me have a look at the league table
Chelsea.
here. So Chelsea. I mean, at the moment, the three of them are on 45 points. Manchester United have a game in hand which they play tonight. If you're listening to this on Monday. And that is, I mean, United, I think the way they're going, and I think if they can keep injury-free, because I don't think they've got much depth in their squad, Manchester United, if they can keep relatively injury-free, I think United will take one of them. Who would have thought that at the end of last season, if you'd have said, I think Man United might finish above Liverpool next season, even a few weeks ago, you'd have gone, what? So, yeah, I think it'll be between Chelsea and Liverpool for the other spot. I think United will do it. I think they've got a bit of momentum, bit of belief, bit of confidence. As long as they don't get any bad luck with injuries, which can happen, because I don't think they'll cope with that. I think if they don't, I think they'll finish in the top five. And I think we'll get 5 European Champions League spots. Yeah. So, then I think it's between Chelsea and Liverpool, and they're both a bit erratic. Chelsea, I think, have got a lot going for them. They've had a good run, but they're a bit inexperienced. I think Liverpool, they're definitely better than they were in the first half of the season. Defensively is the key. They're not giving as many goals away now. So I think ultimately, if you pinned me against the wall and said, right, you've got to choose your top five, I'd go Arsenal, City, Villa, Man United, and Liverpool.
That's what I had.
Chelsea
I think
just
Chelsea
to miss out.
Could just miss out.
They could, yeah.
Yeah, they could just miss out. But we'll see.
We will. I mean, there was an element, wasn't there, of I think Forest fans will think it a little bit suspect. I mean, the thing is now we've got technology, haven't we, deciding whether you're offside or not, or semi-automated, which is...
What does that... What? Explain to me.
I think semi-automated means that it's automated, but we'll give ourselves the word semi in case we make the odd mistake. I don't know what it means. Why is it semi-automated? What does that mean?
You know what annoys me about it? So sometimes when they do the onside or offside, sometimes they show you it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they said the machine wasn't working. Like, I thought this was supposed to iron out all these problems, and then if you look at Van Dijk, on the angle I saw, it looked like he was offside. It goes to the semi-automated.
There was a dangly leg, but you couldn't kind of work it out because it didn't look like it had any socks on the freeze frame that I saw. And I'm thinking, and it was so tight, but it was within unusually quick, which I'm happy with. I quite like it if it's pacey, but I don't think yet. I think we trust goal line technology, don't we?
Yeah.
I think we do. Whether it's as accurate as they say it is, I don't know, but I think we trust it and we just carry on. At the moment with semi-automated, because even the wording, semi-automated suggests it's not actually 100% right, doesn't it? I mean, doesn't it?
We're talking about semis.
To the naked eye, but there was a dangly leg and we were looking at it and we couldn't quite work it out.
Are you doing this on purpose? You're talking about semis and a dangly leg? No. I was like, what?
Like at my age, those days are long. I don't even think like that anymore. I never thought that.
I was like, is he doing this on purpose? Where is he going with this?
I genuinely wasn't. I wish I was. I wish I'd been that.
I think you said, I don't even know what semis are anymore.
I'll tell you what, I could do with something automated that might help. I need a half-time break, Micah. I need half-time break and a blue pill. This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. What's worse than missing a penalty? A brand without a solid website? Squarespace makes it easy for you and customers with new mobile pay links. Customers can pay for your products or services via text, email, social, or QR code, fast and hassle-free. Go to squarespace.com/football for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code FOOTBALL, all uppercase, to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Welcome back to The Rest is Football with Micah Richards and now Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker, recording this on Sunday morning because where are you off, Al?
Just got a pal's due birthday, so there's a load of us going out. So
I can't believe how many pals you've got and how many birthdays they have.
Socialite, isn't he? Absolute socialite. If it's not golf, it's drinking. If it's not drinking, well, God knows what you're doing. Whatever you say
Are
to
you
us.
DJing, Micah?
Yeah, pull your headphone down. What's up with you? It's called having friends, lads. You should try it now and again.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, what a popular chap you are, and I can't understand why. So, Alan, yesterday, Saturday, you did PLP, right?
Yeah, I did PLP.
Yeah,
yes.
Premier League Productions for those that are not aware of that. So, we'll talk about Saturday's games. We've already spoken about the title race, but obviously we're recording this before Arsenal play at Tottenham, Alan. But before we move on to the other games on Saturday, just give us your Newcastle perspective. I thought they actually played really well.
Well, I said before, and if Man City were looking for a game to try and put pressure on, then that was the game. Newcastle, because of their record, I think before yesterday, it was 16 wins on the spin against Newcastle at the Etihad. For Man
that was
City.
the first goal they've scored since the
7 or 8 years, isn't it?
2018.
Something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. So Newcastle's record was diabolical. It really is. So, but I thought they were really competitive. I thought after going 1-0 down, they showed a great attitude. He changed one or two things around again. Voldemort playing in midfield, Gordon again playing in the centre forward role. And I thought, particularly first off, actually, I thought the pace that he had or Newcastle had caused Man City problems. But the second goal was a bit of I think both goals could have been avoided, really. I think Pope perhaps should do better for O'Reilly's first goal. And Voldemort should do more in trying to stop Semenyo. Obviously, Kieran Trippier's positioning's all wrong, the fullback when the ball comes in. So I think from a Newcastle point of view, conceding those goals was poor. But yeah, I thought at least they were competitive and they played well, albeit they didn't get the 3 points.
No, they didn't. Two games we're going to discuss actually now. They're both 1-1 draws. Start with Chelsea. Drop points, obviously, in their... I suppose after a Champions League spot. It's a damaging one, isn't it? When you Burnley obviously rallied a bit in the last week or two, but Chelsea would have fancied their chances in that one. And once again, a late equaliser for Burnley, probably hampered by the Fofana 2 yellow cards, subsequently a red.
It was a strange game, actually, because Chelsea came out the blocks. Joao Pedro scored the goal. It was excellent, and I thought, Chelsea look up for it. But then Burnley went into, I won't say a defensive shape, but they was biding their time when to press. Chelsea had a couple of opportunities. Cole Palmer looked like he was something back to his best, but then he was snatching at things. He could have had a couple of assists. But when it went 1-0 half-time, you see Burnley in that first half, they started putting in some crosses, and Chelsea's defending from crosses, not only just set pieces, crosses in general, has been really, really poor. And then the momentum happened. Fofana gets sent off, and then the ascendancies with Burnley. But having watched the game, a lot of people think, okay, the turning point was the red card, but actually Burnley managed the game very well and tried to create opportunities at the right times, soaked up the pressure, and then they got the goal from the set piece. It was absolutely brilliant, from the ball in first from James Ward-Prowse, who came on, and then Fleming with a lovely header.
They could have won it, should have won it, actually, because they missed another big chance right after that, didn't they, from a similar ball in. And it could have been a lot worse for Chelsea.
Yeah.
I thought Burnley did well. I feared the worst when Chelsea scored early on. After 4 minutes, they just cut them open, didn't they? The way they passed through the middle, passed in behind, ball into the box, and Pedro gets on the end of it. And I thought, here we go. It's going to be a boatload of goals here. But to be fair to Burnley, they stuck in there, and that's been Chelsea's problem. I mean, 2-0 up at home against Leeds, drawing 2-2. 1-0 up against Burnley, drawing 1-1 at home, and that's going to cost them massively.
While we're on the subject of Pedro, it's another goal. He's now got 11 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League this season. Let's talk about signed strikers this season. So, the big names, Ekitike, Isak, Gyökeres and probably Šeško were the big ones, weren't they, signed in the summer? Joao Pedro has perhaps performed, Ekitike's done really well in similar numbers, but I would say Pedro's perhaps gone slightly under the radar in how well he's done.
Yeah, I think he's a really, really talented player, isn't he? I think whether he's enough to take Chelsea to the next level in terms of Champions League, where they want to go, where they want to be, is a different conversation. But in terms of his ability, yeah, he's excellent, yeah.
I think he's a little bit different to the rest of them.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a number 10.
Yeah.
Or a false 9.
He's like a bit of a Havertz.
He's a bit of both. So when you look at his goal record, it's very good for the positions that he picks up on the pitch. He goes really deep, links the play really well. He's very clever. And he's really good in the air, actually. You know, every time Chelsea have got a corner, he's always near the ball or knocking it down. But in terms of where he's on the pitch, I think he's done ever so well. But we knew that, didn't we? When he was at Brighton, he was excellent. But I have to agree with Al. I don't think he's a number 9. I think they still could have him playing the number 10 and someone else sort of in front of him.
Do you like him, guys?
I think he's a very good footballer. He's technically, very gifted. He had a bad patch this season. Well, a patch without scoring many goals, and that was when he was in my fantasy team. Not that bloody news thing, that fantasy gets on my nerves now. But anyway, so I think he's a really good player. I think you're right. He's not an out 9, but he's got a bit of both. Yeah, he does remind me a little bit of Havertz. Similar sort of players, very technically gifted. They kind of glide along the ground. They both can play as a 10 or a 9, but not sure if either of them are exactly one or t'other. But I think he's a really good player. And as you said, quite rightly so, he's a real threat in the air. And while we're talking about things in the air, Rossegna came out, didn't he, after the game? And, he said one of his players had an assignment of marking Fleming, who's their best head of the ball. He said, but he marked the wrong player.
Was it Santos that was originally with him and he ran off Santos? So I don't. Is it what? Maybe he's having a pop,
or maybe he's saying somebody else should have been on him, not Santos. It's a little bit vague, but he said he didn't want to name the player because he didn't want him publicly, and I think that was definitely the right decision not to do that. But obviously, a bit of a mix-up there.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those where, and I did it on Match of the Day yesterday. Is Burnley kept 3 on the box. At the edge of the box. So in the box, Chelsea still had extra men. So I couldn't understand why they couldn't deal with the set piece. Yes, you can pass someone else on, but they still had the advantage in the box. And that's where you need a leader. If it was, I don't know, Liverpool with Van Dijk or Man City of all with Kompany or John Terry, everyone would know their jobs. And Reece James was off the pitch, I believe, at the time, and maybe he would have organised it a little bit more. But to have that lead and then give it up to a set piece where it's something as simple as just defending or marking someone or putting your body in or stopping a run, that they're the basics of football. So I understand why. Well,
Fofana would have been in there as well, but for the red card, but for the stupid challenge when he's already on a yellow card. So he would have been in there as well, wouldn't he?
Very true. And obviously he wasn't the one assigned to Fleming, otherwise, because it would have been very difficult for him to be the person. It's quite unusual that a manager coming out saying something along those lines. I think he might not get it publicly, but I think he'll get it privately, whoever the player was.
Yeah, but if he didn't want to, when he says, I don't want to chuck him under the bus, then he's just going to get everyone speculating and guessing anyway. So just say we should have defended it better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know he didn't need to make that point.
No,
really.
I don't
not
think
publicly, so. But he's a young manager.
Yeah.
And they're a very young team as well. Do you think that's why they perhaps struggled occasionally to close out matches? Bit of an experience. Yeah,
and also I just think defensively that the money that they've spent, I just think they're still short of one or two leaders at the back in those crucial positions.
They've lost 19 points from winning positions this season.
Yeah, but you can look at that both ways, can't you?
They start really well.
Defensively, they can do better, and concentration's got to be better. But yesterday, the game should have been out of sight. Normally, Cole Palmer scores one of those. Joao Pedro gets another goal. Neto, who played quite well. I think as well, the system with Rosenior is, I think he's tinkering a little bit too much. So Alan's exactly right in terms of the back four, constantly changing the back four. But this time, he put Neto on the left-hand side, and then it was Fernandes on the right-hand side, and it looked a bit lopsided at times. So playing in one position, knowing where to cover, knowing when to run in the box, knowing when to defend, and they're all top-quality players, but I just think they need their positions now, and I need to stick with it, and that's how you build that consistency.
But it's too late. Too little too late.
It's not. It's never too late.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
It's too late.
Until it's too late.
Until it's too late.
Are you saying Burnley can stay up, Micah?
I love Burnley. I told you this at the start of the season.
That's not the question.
The best pies in the land.
The best pies.
The best pies. The staff is incredible when you go there. The hospitality is amazing. So
let me ask that again then. Do you think they can stay up, Micah?
No.
Well, they are 8 points behind Forest, who are in 17th. So, I mean, that's a lot of points in the last 11 games of the season. But on to Villa Leeds. Any tiny outside chance of the title, I would suggest, went with that result, even though obviously for much of the game they were trailing.
Yeah, I don't think any of us seriously thought that Villa were going to be going for the title. I think I've always said that if they managed to get top 4 Champions League football, that still would be a great achievement when you consider what the others around them have spent and how big the others' squads are, etc. So I think for Villa, it's always going to be try to get to the Champions League, and that would be amazing if they do that.
Yeah, a great goal from Stoke.
God.
Tammy Abrahams had a good start back at Villa.
Yeah, I've actually been in a dressing room with him. I didn't play with him because I was injured at the time. Yeah. It's when Villa was in the Championship, and he's got all the attributes to be maybe not top level, but a very good striker within the Premier League. Obviously, he's gone abroad. He went to Roma.
Yeah.
He went to Besiktas, I think it was. He scored a few goals. But I think when Watkins is not playing at his level, it was a little bit different with Marlon. We had the conversation about why would you get rid of Marlon. Yeah. Marlon goes to Roma. He's doing really well.
He is.
But in terms of, they didn't have a like for like. And Abraham is certainly that. And he took his goal ever so well. I think it was more the way he adjusted his body.
The instinct, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was alive. He was waiting for it. And I just think he's an all-round class act. Off the pitch and on the pitch, he works really hard as well. And there's some young players who don't really like to take on information. They feel like they've already made it. He always wants to improve. And playing under Emre can only improve him.
Definitely.
So, good start for him.
Interesting situation there at Villa, because you've got 2 strikers there, Ollie Watkins. I know he brought him on because they were chasing the game and played both of them. But you would think mainly it'll be Ollie Watkins or Tammy Abraham that's in the starting lineup. Now, if Tammy Abraham can force out Ollie Watkins in the Villa team, he could conceivably do the same in terms of the England squad, I suppose. It's quite unusual that, because I would say Tammy Abrahams is an outside shout because he's not really featured in any of Tuchel's squads so far. But if he did go on a run, it could be interesting in the Villa dressing room.
He would have to have an amazing run in between now and what we got left, 11 games, is it, for Villa, something like that?
Yeah.
He would have to go on an amazing run in between now and the end of the season to force himself into Thomas Tuchel's reckoning.
I would say so.
Can we talk about how good Leeds were, by the way?
I was just about to come to Leeds.
Oh, sorry. I thought he was gonna move on.
Well, I wouldn't dare do that.
Oh, he's back. Look, he's back.
Yeah, 6 points ahead of West Ham now. Which I think they'll be all right, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Ethan Ampadu.
Yeah.
Oh my word! His energy, his football intelligence, his technique. Do you remember him early doors at Chelsea?
Everyone was talking and raving about him,
Yes.
weren't they? And then he disappeared a little bit in terms of his reputation. And then I saw one or two people saying, I'm not sure about him. But I've been really impressed with him this season.
But it was different though. When he was coming through at Chelsea, he was a centre-half.
Yeah,
he was a centre-half who was good on the ball. And now
Yeah.
he's centre midfield, dictating play.
He's brilliant
He's been
yesterday.
amazing.
Yeah, he's great.
along with Stack. Stack's been really good this season. Bogle has been playing really well. And Justin, especially when they adapt to that 5 at the back.
5, yeah.
But it's just the way they're creating chances, they defend well, they're entertaining to watch. Daniel Fark's done a really good job there so far.
Guys, you mentioned earlier about all the strikers and how much money's been paid, and Šeško and Voltemada and Visser and Gyökeres and all of these guys. One of the best around who's been for a while is Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, yeah. He just needed to stay fit, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, they took a punt on him.
Yeah.
And he's a handful. And you're right, it's just staying fit for him, isn't it? That's been his problem.
Yeah, I mean, there was always potential there, and there was always ability. He was always excellent in the air, particularly, I thought. And a good all-round centre forward, but he's had some bad luck with injuries over the last few seasons. So, good luck to him. Let's hope he stays fit. You mentioned there James Justin. I just did a line because obviously I watched him a lot. He was a Leicester player, and I think he was actually Gareth Southgate. I had a chat with him a few years ago, and he had 2 actually very serious injuries. James Justin, and one of them was not long before. I think was it the World Cup 4 years ago. And he was absolutely brilliant that season. And I said to Gareth, I said, James Justin must have been close. He said he would have been in my England squad, but for his injury, because he was playing so well. So I'm really pleased to see that he's getting a return to the form that I saw a lot at Leicester. Not necessarily the last season. I think he was fighting to come back. You know how long it takes from serious injuries. So that I think that's good to see. Another thing that was good to see, and before we go, we've got to give a shout out to one James Milner, who of course you both played with. Even you, Alan, the player is still around that's going. The most capped player, if that's the right phrase, caps. You don't get caps for club appearances, you get them for international appearances. And actually I'm going to be interviewing him in a couple of weeks about his feat and his career, which should be great. I've got his stats here. I mean, it's remarkable, really. 48 times he played for Leeds, 94 for Newcastle, 100 for Villa, 147 for City, 230 for Liverpool, and 35 for Brighton.
Amazing.
What a record. And is he the most... I don't know, he's the most versatile player of perhaps the Premier League era. He's probably played in almost every position.
I was just about to say that. You know, when you're reading out the appearances, I was thinking, I wonder how many he's played on the wing. I wonder how many he's played in midfield. I wonder how many he's played at fullback. I mean, his attitude is an example, I guess, to anyone who wants to make it into the game. He's got a superb appetite and attitude and all of those things. And you have to have that. If you've gone on as long as he has, the number of appearances and games and at amazing football clubs as well. Big clubs, big clubs as well. So, yeah, brilliant for him.
My thing is the improvement when I played against him when he was at Newcastle, I absolutely bullied him. Bullied him thinking, this is the whole hype, because I'm a Leeds lad. Him and Aaron Lennon was the wonder kids. Yeah. James Milner this, James Milner that. I thought, okay, I'm from Leeds too, you know that. Let me show you. We played him. Absolutely bullied him. Next minute now, he was similar to that Gareth Bale. Played him when he was at Southampton, no problem. Stature grown, he's stronger, he's faster, his football intelligence is better.
Do you think possibly, Micah, that having played against you, you just really increased their confidence?
Guys, when you interview him in a couple of weeks' time, ask him if he remembers that mug Rico Richards playing against him.
Who bullied him?
Yeah,
I'll definitely
absolutely bullied him. Yeah. And then he went to Villa, and I couldn't get nowhere near him. It was ridiculous. The way he used to play the 1-2s, and then he's got way more ability than people give him credit for. Right foot, left foot, can pass, good enough dribbler when he's on the wing. And then, of course, he come to Man City and I played with him. He did all my running. That game when we did the 6-1 at Old Trafford, James Milner was by far, him and David Silva, the best player. I got an assist and I got man of the match in that game. But James, he did everything. All I had to do is stay wide and high.
Brilliant then, Mike.
I got all the plaudits, and it was down to him. And then he goes to Liverpool, wins a league with Liverpool, and he's still going. And it's just a testament to him, his character, the way he's lived his life. He's just been impeccable.
Some athlete, isn't he? What an athlete.
What an athlete.
Well, you've got to be happy to play that many games over such a long period of time, and obviously avoid serious injuries along the way to do that sort of thing. He also had that reputation of being like boring James Milner. Remember that? But he's actually obviously the complete antithesis of that, because when you see him, he came out on social media, and you remember he was doing all those funny things like using scissors to cut his grass and all that, playing to that kind of boring image. A little bit like, remember Steve Davis, the snooker player? I mean, he's still commentates obviously regularly, but Steve Davis started to play up to that interesting Steve Davis and all that sort of stuff, because he was seen as being boring, but far from it. So
I can assure you he's not boring. I can assure you that.
Who?
James Milner.
Oh, go on.
No.
Tell me more, Micah. Has he been on a couple of nights out with the big leagues?
I'll tell you what, he might not drink, but he enjoys himself.
Good lad. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. Before we let you go, Alan, I've been mesmerised by your cardigan.
Mesmerised? What a word that is. What could you possibly mesmerise about Alan Shearer?
I just thought, I thought for a while, and then I spotted the buttons, but I thought, why has Alan still got a blanket?
Well, listen to the ambassador of Tommy Hilfiger. Look at him.
Tommy Hilfiger.
Look. Mike has got his fucking Hugo Dross top on, look.
Right.
Well, I must be in trouble when I'm taking fashion advice from you guys.
What do you mean? I would like bloody top model.
Are you still next, Gaz, or not?
Well,
you been cancelled?
The contract ran out. That's fine.
It didn't get renewed then.
They didn't renew the pension arranged. Still flogging crisps, though. That's good old Walkers. Yeah, we love them. Okay, that'll do us. Enjoy your.
Cheers, boys.
Whose birthday is it? Come on, give him a shout out.
It's one of the older boys. You don't know him, so but it's his birthday today, and there's maybe
you've not forgotten his name, have you?
No, there's 12 of us. Martin.
Okay.
There's 12 of us, so.
We'll give him a shout out on his birthday. Mark, do you not want to say happy birthday?
Happy birthday, Mark.
What sort of friend are you, Al?
Come on, lads. What's up with you?
Happy birthday, Mark, from us. Yeah, have a few on us.
Happy birthday.
Well, not on us, on Al. Al's paying today, so it's good to hear. Enjoy.
Cheers,
Alan.
boys. Thank you.
So that's it for this episode. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Have a great week.